Okay, this is Tracy Rooks again with T Squared Software. I'm the chief architect, and we are the inventors of the Kraken tool set that we use for creating ASP.NET MVC projects and the back ends of other types of projects as well. So today our video series is going to continue with the creation of the data tier. And one of the first things you're going to need is you're going to need your cross-cutting concerns project, which we call the Commons project. So in this particular case, we're going to open up our CastDB file that we created in our last video series. And if you haven't seen that yet, I encourage you to go back and look at those last few. We reverse engineered and forward engineered this model in the last one. So here, the first thing we're going to do is create our common project. This will create a project that allows us to keep our enums in it and to reference for our logging, central location for logging, and all of that kind of good stuff. And it also gives us a place to put our base classes for all of our different types, and if they're shared across types, that is. So it's just a good location to have. It's referenced by all the other projects. It doesn't reference any project by itself. In this particular case, we've already generated it. It didn't take long. We're going to build it. Now, we can go through all these in a later video series in terms of each and every class, but I just wanted to give you an idea for the creation of the data tier in this series. And in order to compile the data tier, you've got to have a common tier. So the next thing we're going to do is create the DTO model diagram. The DTO model diagram actually has a few differences from the database diagram. Just a minute, it'll create it here. There it goes. And as you can see, it always makes an ugly one, so we'll just select all and come down here and lay out the controllers and then the entities. So our data tier is composed mainly of controllers and entities. The controllers are the methods. They do all the work. Entities are just that. They're data transfer objects, DTOs. So you don't see any object relational models and things like that. They do show relationships at the bottom, but and the only way we do that is with IDs and foreign keys, very similar to the way your database works. Some of the nice things about this is the properties window. So hey, you'll see a different namespace than the name, and you can go down here to the address controllers, and you'll start to see things like the methods and whether you want to generate them or not generate them, and foreign classes and roles, and so we can control the different types of roles that are allowed to see it in our standard role models. We can also determine this is an insert, and this one down here, for instance, is a subscriber type. So it's like foreign key type of thing. It returns a list. Some of these return lists, some of them don't. Like add does not return a list. It obviously returns an integer. Get one will return an actual class. So we'll get into all this in later models, but I thought it'd be good just to kind of briefly go over it. You'll see our address IDs, and these have a lot of things such as ranges and are they children and can they be excluded, and these kind of things. So we use them a lot. Excluded models have to do with reverse engineering other databases where only certain, maybe you have 500 fields in a database, God forbid, and you only want 20. Then you can exclude the ones you don't want, but you still see them in the models if you need to. So what we're going to do now is we've got this DSDB, and we're going to go ahead and generate this data repository. And it takes it just a minute. It's got to activate the solution and do a few other things. And after we get this created, we're going to go ahead and reference the common project. So it does use some of the common project methods, and we certainly like logging and error logging and that sort of thing. We definitely want to access that. You see it's been created now. So go over here to the references, and we'll add a reference. This is actual time. No time lapse in this particular thing. Oops. Sorry. Click the common project. We're there. Let's go ahead and build this. And the build succeeded, and that's it for right now. In our next project base, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to create the business model diagram. So I wish you well, and I will see you in the next episode of the video learning series.